and welcome to New Age Negro News. I'm Jalen Dixon, your anchor. Today, we're going to talk about Timothy Cole. Timothy Cole was a 26-year-old Army veteran who was also a student at Texas Tech in Lubbock, Texas in 1985. On March 24, 1985, Texas Tech student Michelle Mallon was sexually assaulted in the church parking lot across the street from Texas Tech. The perpetrator bogarted his way into the front seat of Miss Mallon's car using a knife as a weapon. He then proceeded to sexually assault Miss Mallon and afterwards stealing $2, her watch, and her ring and left on foot. Miss Mallon then proceeded to call the police. Mallon told detectives that her perpetrator was believed to be a young African-American male who smoked throughout the attack. It was also believed that this perpetrator was responsible for 4 other attacks that were similar to the Texas Tech campus. At the time of the attack, however, Cole was at his brother's house who was hosting a card game. 2 weeks after the attack, Cole went to a pizza parlor where he found a detective. The detective had a conversation with him about the attack, and apparently from that conversation he was deemed a suspect. An officer then took Cole back to his apartment to take a Polaroid photo of him facing the camera. He then showed Mallon a lineup of his picture along with 5 other mugshots. However, the 5 other mugshots were taken from the side, a profile picture. Mallon was then showed the 6 mugshots, and out of the 6, she immediately chose Cole's. After this photo lineup, she was given an entire physical lineup of the 6 people. She immediately chose Cole again. However, after the 4 similar case victims were shown the 6 mugshots along with the 6 people, they did not choose Cole. Does that make sense to y'all? After Mallon made her decision, Timothy Cole was charged for aggravated sexual assault and was arrested. Type A sperm was found on the body of the victim. This led serologists to conclude that both the victim and the perpetrator had type A blood. Cole's lawyer gave his alibi that he was at his brother's house during court, and his friends testified as well. It was also said that Cole had asthma, which means that he could not smoke cigarettes, which the perpetrator did. Fingerprints from the victim's car didn't match Cole's, and similar attacks like the one Cole was being accused of happened months after Cole's arrest. So common sense would say that it wasn't him. After 6 hours of deliberation, Cole was sentenced to 25 years in prison. Now to Anika with information on the exoneration and innocence project.
Thanks, Jalen. Unfortunately, Timothy Cole died 23 years into his sentence. In 1995, Jerry Johnson, the man who actually committed the crime that Timothy Cole was accused of, decided to start writing letters to confess his sins. He sent the messages to the Lubbock police station to the officer who was in charge of the case. Unfortunately, these letters were blatantly ignored. Eventually, the messages were received by Michelle Mallon, the victim of the case. She decided because she had accidentally falsely accused Cole that she was going to be involved with his exoneration. To help with the exoneration, Michelle Mallon decided to contact the Innocence Project. The Innocence Project was established in 1992 by a man named Schneck and his law group. The Innocence Project was a project that's enacted to help people who have been falsely accused become exonerated. To achieve this, they use forensic evidence. Because Texas has a mandatory DNA collection law, there is forensic evidence from the Timothy Cole case. When scientists compared Timothy Cole's sperm to the sperm that was found at the scene, it was not a match. Unfortunately, Cole's exoneration was not able to be active until after he had already passed away. In Texas law, people who are wrongfully convicted of crimes are eligible for compensation for as many years as they spent in jail. Since his exoneration, Texas legislators have enacted the Timothy Cole Act. This act increases the compensations for wrongfully convicted people to $80,000 a year. And that's all for today's segment. Thanks for tuning in to the New Age Negro News. I'm Anika Brown, and have a nice day.